What's up, everybody? I'm back. I know it's been a while. Life was lifing. Okay, I had to take some time off from making YouTube videos and doing all that stuff. But I'm back. We're back. It's great. Love it. Anyways, um, doing something a little different today. I had a good battle not too long ago, and I realized that I never really actually made any videos talking about how to actually drive, like what goes through my head in a race, basic offense stuff, basic defense stuff, just for you guys that are interested and want to learn about it, or for I don't know, maybe people that are new getting into sim racing, looking for maybe some tips and tricks here and there. Then it's probably going to be a good video for you. Anyways, for context, we're at Okayama in the Ray Formula 1600, Formula Ford, starting on pole. And yeah, I think we're just going to get straight into it. All right, yep. So, like I said, Okayama, Formula Ford, starting on pole. Just going to show you guys really quick here. Just kind of pay attention to, I'd say the key things here initially that I'd like you guys to watch are, first of all, my track usage and how I use the track to get as much angle as possible going into approach apexes. And two, just at the actual start here, I want you to watch how I just straight up start taking the inside line as we go here, because typically with any race start, whether it's a rolling start or a standing start, you can see how close P2 is to me. They're always going to try and dive the inside. So I always, if I have the opportunity, always try to cover the inside, and you'll see that here. So yep, just moving to the inside. Pretty basic stuff there, just covering it off so he can't just dive in there. Parking on the apex, powering out. And again, see, there's the track usage I'm talking about. It's one thing that I would say is a very important thing to learn starting out is you gotta use all the track. You gotta use all the track. Even if you're like touching grass here or there, it's fine. But really make sure you're all the way on the opposite side of the track based on the actual racing line that you're on. I guess one thing I would like to mention is when you're leading a race, as you can see, me and this guy, relatively same pace between me and P2. I'm not really paying attention to him. I'm always focused on what's going on in front of me, just trying to stay consistent and clean, and drive my best line. That's the main thing I would say. Now, I am occasionally obviously paying attention to where he is, looking to see if he's going to make a move or not. But for the majority of it, I'm not even really worried about him. I know I have good pace. I'm obviously the fastest. I qualified on P1, so not worried about that. Kind of, like I said, just I'll look and see where he's positioning himself here or there. But for the most part, I'm just locked into what I'm going on, trying to stay consistent. Okay, I think this is the move, if I remember correctly. Yep. All right, so he's moving inside. Okay. So, really quick, I want to just rewind this. This is one of my biggest things that I wanted to talk about when I went over this footage, just watching it for myself. Now, this still worked out for him, so, technically it's fine. I'm just saying, and you'll see me do it, when you're making a move to the inside, okay, like he does here, look at how much space there is still here. Now, again, it's not like he's all the way on the other side of the track, but look at how much space there is here, and eventually, look, that is 2 cars. You could fit 2 more, Formula Fords right there, okay? Let me, okay. That's a lot of space. You could potentially, 2.5, maybe. I don't know. The most important thing that I'll say when you are making a move on somebody to overtake, especially in a position like this, the idea, or the mindset, I should say, that you want to try and be in is when approaching an apex, the closer you are to the apex in terms of being, like, let's say here, like the typical racing line is about where I'm at. I could be a little bit more left, but the closer you are to that right side, the inside of the apex, the less speed you're going to be able to carry into that apex, obviously, because you're closer to the inside of it. You have less angle to actually turn in, so you're going to have to slow more. On top of having to slow more, your braking zone is going to be a lot earlier than it would normally be on the initial racing line. So a very important thing that I'll say here is when you are going for an overtake, and I'll find a clip in here where I do it, because I know I did in this race. Get to the right of them, and then get as close without making contact, without being, the not nice person about it. Don't be super aggressive with it, but you want to pinch them and close them off as much as possible so you can stay on as close as you can on the actual racing line, because that allows you to continue to hold on to the majority of that speed that you normally would on the actual racing line. And with that, you have two options essentially. Either you brake ever so slightly earlier than you normally would, if, again, and I'm saying if he was hugging me where I am, then you would pretty much brake in the same spot, easy overtake right there. Or if you're being aggressive, then you brake just ever so slightly later, forces him even more wide, and then you just cut in, take it. Those are really your two opportunities there for how you can make that happen. So, and I will say as well, this is a rookie series race, so I'm not really expecting anything crazy from these guys as well. But this is more so, like I said, just to give you guys an example of some of the stuff that I see and that I even did when I first started. But yeah, you gotta just right on each other. You have to be right on each other if you really want to seal the deal on taking the position. Now, again, I think he takes it from me here anyway because I was just playing it safe, and I think I overslowed. Let's see, actually. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, okay. And again, here's another thing for me. Like I said, because now his braking there was actually pretty good, but he carried a little bit too much speed, and you can see he's already initially starting to go really, really wide here. I knew that this was probably going to be the case because I knew he wasn't running up on me. I overslowed, and you're going to see me cut the inside here so I can just be right up on him. It's just not really an old switcheroo, but this is just basic stuff that I do anytime I'm battling out. Because at this point, I haven't really seen what he does, what he likes to do, where he wants to be on track. So at this point, now that he's overtaken me, I'm kind of just looking to analyze his driving skills and see where he's strong, where he's weak, what he's doing, type of stuff. Yep. So here you can see I get a little bit closer because I'm a little bit more comfortable driving close to him because I know he's not a bad driver. Trying to use good words here. Yep, and then we just take it back just like that. Does he go for another move here? Yes, he does. Okay, so same thing. Like I said, just really close to that apex. And it's the same thing for me. At this point, I know that I can retake again the position, doing what I just did, so I'm doing exactly that. That's how I would kind of describe how when you're analyzing another driver and trying to figure out, how you're going to overtake that position again. He went a little bad there, so I overtook it there. But you just keep rinse, washing, or repeat. If it keeps working, it keeps working. The only way it doesn't is if they counter your move. So, I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. See it again here, we swapped here. So now I have to come up with something new and potentially overtake off of T1. Rough exit for him. So here. Yeah, so you can see how you see what I'm doing right here? How I'm just pushing him to the inside, and look, hop back on the racing line. There you go. Standard stuff. Now again, I'm still overslowing, just being extra cautious because I, again, don't really know what this guy is going to do. So at this point, I'm still analyzing him. Ooh, dive to the inside. Okay. Yeah, so here, just again, not being overly aggressive, but one thing that I really like to do as well is I love to apply as much pressure as possible. I will get as close to you as I possibly can, right there, just to force you into a mistake. That is a very, very, very key thing that I think you should try to learn early on, is learning how to really, really, really put the pressure on somebody, because majority of the time when you're doing, rookie or lower rank races like this, if you can apply pressure to other drivers, then they're usually going to have a slip up moment. Now, obviously, the higher up in rank and races that you get into, the more difficult it's going to be to do that. And it's also not very easy to do. Like I said, you have to get very comfortable getting close. But if you can do that and you can get good at it early on, very, very, very useful tool. Just literally just ride up on them as close as you can possibly get. You got to make them uncomfortable. Again, not being overly aggressive, but make them uncomfortable, force them into a mistake. It's one of the things that I would say I do pretty well, is just applying pressure when I am chasing a car ahead. Yeah, well, yeah, I just went through and watched everything. This is the end of the race. That was pretty much it. I knew it wasn't, like I said, that was nothing crazy. And again, this is not one of the harder fights that I've had. This is relatively almost smoked that guy. Whoa. This is one of the easier fights, and that's no smoke to him. Again, like I said, this is a rookie race, and I'm a pretty experienced in this stuff. So, yeah. All right, so now that we've kind of gone through the basic stuff, I'm gonna take just a little bit of a deeper dive, because watching back I was descriptive but not descriptive enough. So I'm just gonna go back and just show you guys a little bit deeper into what I mean. Okay. Okay, so like for instance, I remember I wanted to talk about track usage a little bit. It's very common early on. I've seen for a lot of guys getting into this for the first time to almost not stay in the middle of the track, but really not utilize all the room that you have. And the issue that you're going to have early on with that is your pace is going to just completely go out the window. So what I really want you guys to notice here is, and I'll find a good spot. Let's see. Touching the curb there, nothing crazy. Look at that. Okay, I am now again. There's still more room there. That's the crazy thing about this spot. But almost all four wheels are off the track here, and even he's doing it there behind me. You have to learn to be comfortable just throwing the car around the track. And you know, it's fine to just hop in a practice session and just start doing hot laps and just get comfortable moving around the whole track, finding where the grip is at and how to just, and if you could just do that and just learn how to be consistent, that's going to be a very, very, very huge thing with you, as far as improving early on. And that's the other thing I'll say alongside that is just getting comfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, you're hopping into a race. If you're comfortable the whole time, I mean, you're kind of a badass, to be honest with you. I mean, but if you're battling it out, you just have to be comfortable getting uncomfortable when it comes to battling it out, track usage, getting comfortable with the car, all of that stuff. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yes, that's what I meant to say. I don't know, nothing like that. Track usage. Use the track. See, even right there, like I said, we're touching the grass and the dirt here, and that's not an off track. As long as you keep two tires within the curbing there, you're fine. I'm not saying that was necessarily quicker or not, but just learn to rip it. Just learn to rip it. Start throwing it around, because that makes you, like I said, it makes you more comfortable making aggressive moves to overtake other guys. That's the other thing that I would say is just with the whole getting comfortable being uncomfortable thing. Just throw the car around. Get used to the car. What is it like? What is it not like? Like I said, where are the good spots on the track where I can position myself? And then you can really start to piece together an actual racecraft. Like, especially for like I said, when you get comfortable with the car and you get comfortable with the track, you know where you can make moves and where you can't make moves. And you could potentially do fake outs in those moves where you're not going to, or spots where you're not going to, which will allow you to apply pressure to the guy in front and force him into a mistake. These are just key little things like that. And overall, it's just consistency and getting comfortable with all that stuff. Yeah, so right here as well. Right here as well. I don't really have a way to, I don't think at least. Maybe, oh, there you go. Look at how close I am getting to him here. Now again, I am just very comfortable with this car and this track because I had practiced it and done all that stuff, but leave no room. Leave no room. Get right up on them. Make them uncomfortable. Force them into a mistake. We'll see. I'll put a little bit open right there, but that's fine. We're diving the inside here. Just park it on the apex. Punch out. Done. Let's see. And okay, this is kind of now. Let me just go back and make sure this was anything crazy. I don't know. This could be because he touched on the dirt here. Maybe he oversteered a little bit. But again, him just understanding that my presence is there and I am ready. Like it's just, and again, you can see here he backs out. Yeah, I don't really think the dirt was a factor there. Yeah, you can see. Look, you can hear him get off the throttle. Right there. Just it's all about that presence and applying that pressure. This is another spot that I wanted to mention as well. You see how I'm gradually. Hold on. We start out here, and I notice he's sitting here in the middle of the track. He's not forcing me and trying to push me over to the left and make me uncomfortable. So I'm going to do that to him. I'm going to keep pushing him as much as I possibly can to the inside. Again, well, not as much as I could have, but it wasn't too aggressive here. And again, then boop, back on the racing line. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. Now, again, I will say, I know if my explanations weren't the best, I apologize for that. This is my first time really doing like a whole in-depth how to actually race and drive and battle type of video, and I'll get better at them as we go on, and I'll get more complicated as well, and we can really start diving into some complicated moves and tricks and all that stuff. But just for now, I just kind of wanted to get a video out because I know it's been a minute, and yeah, I just wanted to make a little like helpful video for, like I said, anybody new trying to get into this stuff, or for anybody interested in what goes through my head when I'm in a race and how I do the things that I do. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I am back. I'm gonna try to be more consistent in posting videos and all that stuff again. I have some stream stuff planned for the relatively near future as far as doing some more endurance stuff. 8, 10, 12, maybe a 24-hour, I don't know. It's just annoying to plan all that stuff out with working it between everybody and finding the times for them to come over and practice and do all that stuff. But I am relatively on a good schedule again, and with the whole social media, YouTube, sim racing content stuff. So yeah, anyways, thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. It's good to be back, and I hope to see you guys soon. All right, peace.